In this video, we are going to introduce the team matrix, which is a tool we use for creating psychological safety. Amy Edmondson, a Harvard Business School professor, popularized the term psychological safety while researching hospital teams in the 1990s. She wanted to study hospital teams that had better patient outcomes. She set out to research the link between teamwork and error rates. Her initial hypothesis was that teams with better patient outcomes would also have lower error rates. However, her research results were the opposite. These high-performing teams with better patient outcomes actually were more likely to report errors. She discovered that although high-performing teams were not making more errors, they were more willing and open to identify errors and take corrective action to ensure better patient outcomes. She realized that the higher error rate reporting in strong teams was not a sign of poor performance, but of transparency. Members in these high-performing teams felt safe enough to admit and discuss mistakes, which allowed for timely correction and prevention of further harm. She determined that these high-performing hospital teams had an interpersonal climate of psychological safety, which she defined as a shared belief that the team was a safe space to speak up, take risks, and admit mistakes without being embarrassed, rejected, or punished. And this is the definition of psychological safety. Charles Duhigg, in his book Smarter, Faster, Better, examined the very first Saturday Night Live cast, a team of comedians who lacked personal closeness and did not get along, often disagreeing. Yet this team was somehow able to work together. They were able each week to create a new high-quality episode of Saturday Night Live. How did a team of comedians who often clashed consistently produce strong episodes of Saturday Night Live? When it came time to pitch the skits and jokes for the weekly show, they showed up with respect for each other. They listened to one another, shared their ideas, and focused on making the best show possible together. They created a space where it was safe to speak up, even when they disagreed. That atmosphere of trust and openness wasn't about being friends. It was about making it safe to have honest conversations. And that's what made their work successful. We can use a team matrix to start building a climate of psychological safety. This is the team matrix. You may notice that this matrix looks similar to the individual matrix we introduced earlier in these videos. The core structure is the same, but the key difference lies in what questions we ask and who is doing the noticing. In the bottom right quadrant, instead of asking what's important to me, we now ask, what is our shared purpose? This shift helps move us from individual reflection to collective understanding. The other quadrant also changes. Instead of focusing on what difficult thoughts or emotions show up inside of me, we explore what's showing up inside of us as a team. We start asking questions like, what difficult feelings or reactions are we experiencing together? How do we notice ourselves reacting or pulling away from that discomfort? What could we do differently as a group to move toward our shared purpose? The question about workability remains the same. We still ask, what's workable in this context? This means we look at what happened and what actions were taken. And then we reflect, did those things we do help us to move towards our shared purpose? This team matrix begins to establish psychological safety because it shifts perspective. Rather than focusing on individuals in isolation, where it's the complainant or the person named in the complaint, we bring everyone to the same page. We place the problem in front of us, not between us. That simple shift changes the conversation. Even the way we frame the questions is designed to support psychological safety as we work through harassment complaints and seek resolution together. In the next video, we will begin unpacking the shared purpose quadrant and explore how it anchors the process of building safety and trust.